Hey everybody, Whitney with Girl Friday Crafts here. Welcome to Craft With Me Saturday, although I'm not really sure when I'm going to publish this. So it's been a week and I realized this morning that I had not landed on a time or created an event or anything at all, or decided on a project. And what I'm really in need of today is a day where I am finishing up existing projects, and then I need to take some fall and Halloween stuff from last year and kind of jazz it up a little bit, repurpose a few things, add some stuff. That's what I'm going to be doing. So I figured I would make a recording of some of that and share that with you all. So I'm not live if you're watching. So everybody's on replay. So hi and thanks for watching. And we're just going to walk through a few things. I want to show you all. So for those of you that remember my busted canvas, I had problems with two pieces sticking down, and I finally got them to stick. I attempted Stick Fast. That did not work. I now have Stick Fast dried all over my hands, but I cut a lot of the glue off of those two spots and tried my hot glue again and let it heat up a lot, and that seemed to work. So that's good. Hopefully. I'm going to give it 24 hours before I say yay on that, but that's what I'm hoping. Seems to be okay. They didn't even start to pull up when I let go of them. So, and then we are in the process of making our little pumpkin that's going to go on the middle. I want to make sure that, yep, okay, make sure I'm painting the right side. So what I need to do real quick, and I actually meant to do this before I started recording, so I might end up editing this out, is I just need to paint the sides of him here, and then let him dry a little bit longer. And then we're going to chalk on the veins and the stem, and then glue him onto our busted canvas, and that project will finally be finished. Let me move it over so you all can actually see my workspace more than me. So some of you might have seen my live from a few weeks ago. I think I did it on an event where I tried to recreate something I had seen, and it was my little perm rod pumpkin. That's going to go on this little stand. And so I needed to finish chalking the designs around the stand. So I got the three sides done, and I'm not going to do the back because this is going to have fairy lights attached to it with the battery operated thing. And so what I want to do is I want to Velcro that to the back of this. And so there was really no need to chalk on it. Sorry, I'm picking at the glue that's on my fingers. So I think what I'm ready to do now is glue this to the base, and then add the fairy lights, which I need to find. And then we're going to also glue on some of these leaves. So I'm going to let my my glue gun heat up and find the fairy lights. So I can't find my Velcro, but I found command strip, so that should work. So we're going to, I'm going to put the glue on this so that I don't have to turn the pumpkins over. Put a big drop down there. I'm just gonna put that on here. Push it down. Gorilla Glue, because it does adhere pretty quick. Turn that off because I'm going to do the fairy lights first. Maybe. Not to make you all watch me try to unravel this. I'm going to turn it on so that I can kind of see where the lights are and kind of decide how I want them distributed. Okay, so I got all the lights in. So a couple of pieces of advice if you're going to try to do something like this is try to get it straightened out as much as possible before you start stringing it through, and don't get lights that have different settings. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. Just be cognizant of that. So these have different settings, which is super cute. But there's also not an actual just off switch. So you have to cycle through everything to turn them off, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But that's okay. Another reason why I might just end up keeping this for myself instead of trying to sell it. So I have some leaves cut and trying to decide. I don't necessarily want to cut them completely off the stems, but I'm not going to glue them down on the stems either. I'm going to have to glue them, by the leaves themselves, because I don't think putting the glue on the stems is going to really give me all that much to glue to attach. Letting the heat gun glue up. Oh my goodness, letting the glue gun heat up. Again, not so much with the words today. And, I have more leaves. Just cut a little bit to make sure I have a good distribution of color. And trying to place some to start with, and then just sort of glue as I go. That one will fold in, that'll be nice. And then I'll, layer a bit more, and then I might add some Spanish moss in to cover some of the base. And I'll have to see what it looks like when I get all of the leaves on there. So I'm just gonna go around and put a smidge of glue on the base. I don't necessarily need to glue every leaf down, because this is not something that's going to necessarily get moved around a whole lot or shaken. I guess it's possible, but even if, like, one of the kiddos were to pick it up and carry it around or something, if you've got most of the leaves glued down or one leaf from each stem glued down well, you should be okay. And I probably will end up spraying this with either Mod Podge sealant or clear spray paint to make sure that, like, when it gets packed away, that if it gets scraped or scratched or something like that, that like the paste that's on the pumpkin stays, that the paste that's around the edges stays. Kind of help hold everything in place. So we're gonna actually go ahead and do that too. Okay, so I got the battery pack attached to the back of this with some command strips. Actually feels sturdier than I thought it was going to be. And then this is what it looks like from the front. I feel like I need another little leaf right there. So I'm going to take this small one. But I'm pretty happy with how this little guy turned out. So then it's a question of, am I keeping it for myself? Or am I going to try to sell it? I have a piece at my vendor space that I was very conflicted about, and they have a Halloween event coming up in a few weeks. And I've decided that if it doesn't sell at that, I'm taking it back and I'm keeping it. So I'm thinking about that. Same thing with this piece. I have a show the first weekend in October, and I might take this for the show. But if it doesn't sell, then I might bring it home. So we're going to chalk the veins on our pumpkin. Here's my transfer. And actually put my paste away. So when I tried this originally, I was using green. And I've since decided that I'm going to go with cozy. One, to give this a little bit more of a muted look, and two, to kind of match the colors on the busted canvas itself. So we had some problems with this one. If you remember the last time, if you were watching when I tried to do this live, or in my recording, I don't remember. I know I didn't. I don't think I got this far on my live when I was making the project. Oh, this is my busted canvas. Yes, I did. I painted the pumpkin and hadn't really given that second coat much time to dry. And so when I pulled the transfer up, it pulled the paste and pulled the green paste and part of the orange that I had painted on the pumpkin. I did give it a second coat this morning. I dried it with drying tool, but it's been sitting for a while. And I am buzzing the heck out of this transfer. in the hopes that this time we will not have that problem. Line my shape, line my transfer up on my shape. I'm also hoping that because I'm using Cozy, which is a metallic paste, I think in my experience, metallics tend to be a little more forgiving, but that might help too. My squeegee. I've used the Cozy already today, so really no need to stir it again. Try and move fast. Not give this enough time to dry too much on me. Make sure I'm covering all the negative space. And to find places to hold it. Chockable shapes are great, but the transfers usually cover the entire shape, which does make it difficult to find a place where you can hold on to it while you're chalking on it, and also while you are trying to lift off your transfer. There's that. And try to pull this up enough to give me a little piece on the corner here. And then come over and try to get some on the side so that I'm not pulling it up at an angle, but pulling it up straight. That helps keep from stretching out your transfer. And I'm going to rock it back and forth a little. Also hoping that if I'm not pulling, then it'll prevent any kind of lift or pulling up of the paste. That seems to be working well. So if you're ever having trouble getting the transfer off of the surface, trying to rock it back and forth as best you can is a good way to pull it up without stretching it. And I don't have a water bath down here today. I'm kind of working through different things quickly. So I'll take that up and wash it in a second. So that worked great. It's exactly kind of the look I was wanting on this little guy. We need to let him dry, and then we are going to attach him to the inside of our busted canvas. And I just got paste all over the jar. That's where that came from. Came all over my fingers, and I couldn't figure out. It probably came off the transfer, but it's all over the side of the jar now. I've been making a big mess today. Okay, so we're gonna let this dry, and then we'll come back and I'll glue it inside of our busted canvas. Okay, I'm very excited to finally get this done. Here's my little pumpkin. It's dry. Got my glue gun heating up. And I'm gonna need a stand thing so I can make sure that I get this pumpkin in the right spot. Okay. Let this heat up a little bit. I'm not Actually, I think that's probably good. All right. So we're going to, I'm not going to go too close to the edge because I don't want the glue to spill out. But we're going to edge it and put a little in the middle. And then very carefully, because the minute I touch this down, it's going to stick. I'm going to adhere that. Okay, so what I want to try and do here is I do actually need a little glue up towards the top. Okay, that's pretty good. So here's my little pumpkin. Might have actually looked a little better if I had done the veins in the vanilla, so it popped out a little more, but maybe not. I mean, there's a lot of color in there, but I really, really like this. I think it's really cute. And I'm so glad that I finally got those last two little curls to stick down. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So thank you for watching. I'll be working on a lot of projects throughout the week, so I'll probably have a lot of videos up. And then I will be back with another official Craft With Me video next weekend. To think about what I want to do. If you have ideas or suggestions, I'd love to hear it. Love to hear it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Have a great day. Bye.